Greater Manchester Police are saying that the former Liberal MP, Sir Cyril Smith, was guilty of physical and sexual abuse of young boys over a period of many years. 3 separate files were presented to the Director of Public Prosecutions, but no action was taken on any occasion. Our Home Affairs correspondent, Simon Israel, is with me now. So how are they saying this?
Well, let me remind you, Cyril Smith was MP for Rochdale for 20 years, first elected in 1972, and in all senses of the word, a giant in Rochdale, firstly as a Liberal and then as a Lib Dem. So these allegations come from 8 young men back in 1970. And the allegations relate to what happened, alleged to have happened, at a children's home where they all lived in the 60s and where they were dependent in some way or other, all dependent on Cyril Smith, either through money, through employment or through care. What happened was Lancashire Police opened a file. They sent the file off to the Director of Public Prosecutions at that time, containing 80 pages of evidence. It also contained a letter written by the Chief Constable of Lancashire, and I'll quote you from that letter. It reads, "Any charges of indecent assault founded on these allegations, as well as being stale, would be, in my view, completely without corroboration. Further, the characters of some of these young men would be likely to render their evidence suspect." Well, today, the Crown Prosecution Service, that thinking doesn't exist anymore. And given the same circumstances today, Cyril Smith would have been prosecuted.
So did the allegations end there?
No, the allegations resurfaced again in 1998. Someone called a helpline run by Greater Manchester Police, one of the original complainants. But the CPS lawyer advised that Cyril Smith couldn't be charged now, having been told he wouldn't be charged 28 years beforehand. So therefore, they couldn't charge him. And the irony is that that argument was rejected 2 years after that by the Court of Appeal in another case, funnily enough, the Abu Hamza case. But by that time, it was too late, and I suspect the complainants had lost complete and utter faith in the system itself. So tonight, Greater Manchester Police say they're reopening the investigation and have publicly acknowledged for the first time that these young men were victims of sexual and physical abuse by Sir Cyril Smith. And it doesn't end there, because by all accounts, Mr. Smith was a powerhouse in Rochdale. So this investigation will look at whether or not he was part of or ran a network, because he appointed various people to positions of care while he was in Rochdale. And I will quote you from a high-level source tonight saying, basically, Cyril Smith was an ogre.
Simon Israel. John.